Welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thank you so much, as always, for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do. You like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with all of your favorite artists. I'm so excited today to be talking with Jana Kramer, who's back with new music. Hello.
Yay. Hi.
New music. It's true. You got a brand new single called Voices, a really powerful song that, as I read this, as I understand, hits on some important topics in your life that have to do with mental health.
For me, yeah, it's just about like, I feel like so many of us have all these negative voices in our head, and it's the goal is to obviously not think of them, and to, be like, no, like, so for my situation, with this song, it's in the words, it's like, I'm not enough. I'm broken. I'm not worthy of love. And it's just like, no, like yes, I might be broken, but like, I am worthy. Like, and I'm not like, I am enough. I do deserve love. And so just letting the positive voices come in and not allowing the negative voices to stay there, because that's when you can, get depressed and just really talk down on yourself. And I just want people to not have that, those negative things bringing them down.
Yeah. And you had worked on this with the songwriter, Sarah Bryce, right? So how did it come to you?
Yeah, she's the wife of Lee Bryce, who's obviously an amazing country artist, and she was basically at ground zero with me with my divorce and helping me, and she heard everything that I was saying about myself in a very negative way, and she brought me the song that she wrote, and it was pretty much like my saving grace, because I just like broke down when I heard it. I was like, the song is incredible. And it's everything I needed to kind of like get back up and like believe that like I am worthy and that I will be okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's I think what we all probably to some degree want a song to do for us. I mean, I've talked about it in other interviews as well, but it's always interesting how a lot of times when you're sad, you sort of, instead of automatically leaning into the happy song, you lean into the sad song. But this seems like one of those moments where it's maybe the opposite. You're looking for something else.
Yeah, to me, it's like kind of that anthem to believe in yourself. And I want people to be able to listen to it and go, okay, like, yes, I've got these negative voices, but like I am worthy, and I do deserve a great love, and that I am good enough.
Yeah. So when I was listening to the single you put out last year with Untouchables, I don't know that these songs are meant to have anything to do with each other, but it is sort of interesting hearing them in that context, playing with each other, talking with each other. And I don't want to make any assumptions here. So this is me, just what I'm getting out of it as a fan, but it's sort of hearing this person in progress, like seeing who I say you as the character in the song, who you want to be. And it's just about getting there. I mean, does that, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, for me, it's like just the journey. And like, I'm on like this crazy ride, and I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what the rest of this day looks like, but I'm going to continue to, go on the journey and be my best version of myself. And so I think with these songs, especially Voices and the ones to come, it's just kind of like where I'm at, and I don't know where I'm going to be, but like, this is kind of, I'm going to walk through all those emotions of my divorce, but then be hopeful for the future and write about that too. So there's a lot to be said, and there's a lot of journey hopefully still left to live.
Yeah. You talk about obviously the divorce that goes along with this song right here, especially with Voices. Everybody goes through divorces. You have this other thing that I don't have to deal with, and there's this amplification that comes along with it, this media amplification.
Sure.
Where it's not just the private. Like when you talk about why Voices spoke to you, how much of that is added onto it? Just again, everything you do, it seems like somebody's going to be talking about it at some points.
Yeah. And I am very open, and I have been very vocal, and I do that for a few reasons. One, because I can't pretend like things are okay on social media when they're not. So it's like, I want to like be like, hey, this is real, and people can be broken. They can still, I like to show the real side of things, but also like, I know that I have the ability to change the narrative. So like when my husband and I were going through the infidelity piece in our marriage, it's like, let's change the narrative. Let's show like how we're growing and getting stronger. And now it's like, okay, let's change the narrative. Let's, yes, I'm divorced now, and I have really hard days, but like, I want to show like the progress and the growth and the healing, because I know that I'm not the only person alone in that. And yes, it is very hard to have that picked apart and criticized. But for the people that actually need that, and I need it as well, like to know that I'm not alone. I do know that like, it is helping people, which is nice. And Sarah Bryce is calling me right now, so I'm gonna decline that. Sarah, I'm doing interviews for our song. But yeah, so it's not easy, and like it's very hard, especially with this song too, and title of Voices. It's like I have a very like, and even in the second verse, like I say, like I wish I didn't care what people think, but I put so much weight into what other people think of me, what other people think of like what I do, and it's like I just wish that like I didn't have that, and I didn't let that affect me as much as it did.
Yeah, it's important. I do think it's important that you're putting that stuff out there, talking about it in that way to the folks who are listening to you. I know there's also the other side. You're parents. You're a mother of two, and going through that part of it as well. As you talk about, the how you want to present yourself, as you were talking about, in your marriage and through the divorce. What is that side? What's that part of the story?
Sorry, so say that one more time.
Just with being a mother of two, a working mother, and with as much as you do, what I was asking is, yeah, it's just hearing about how you wanted to present yourself,
Sure.
One, as part of this marriage, but two, what is that part of the story for when you're talking about being a parent?
For sure. So I've always, and like my big thing is I always want to protect my kids, and I want to make sure that, because one day they're going to be able to Google mom and dad. And so I've always been very careful of some of the words that I would love to say, but I hold back on saying, just because I don't want them to like read certain things. And then when it comes to like my songwriting and stuff with them, I mean, I wrote a song for them that's going to come out later, hopefully this year, but it's just about, again, being the best mom that I can be, showing them that like, I don't do it perfectly all the time. Like my daughter caught me crying the other day, and it's just like, mommy's sad too, but like, in just showing there, like there's emotions that come with it, and kind of like bringing them in and being on their level, and just being as positive and as happy as I can be for them, because they deserve to have a loving home. So.
Yeah, I have a son who's 14, and all those moments throughout parenthood of just going, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Is the work-life balance in the right spots? Like, yeah.
Yeah. The balance can definitely be hard. Especially because so much of my life is on social media. So, being like, I got to put the phone down, cause now she's like taking my phone and trying to pretend to be like, hi. And I'm like, oh God, I'm going to create a monster. So I'm like, I'm being more careful of like how I act and what I do. And, not like I heard myself even, I was filming something and I was like, Jolie, don't do that. Jolie, do that. Like, and I'm just like, man, like, let her like be a kid. You know what I mean? Like, let her like, why did I care about what she was doing? Like, so I think it's important too, to have like that inside look to yourself and be like, okay, like these are the areas that I can grow as a person, but also as a parent.
Yeah. You were doing another interview you did recently, and you mentioned the imaginative space of children. And I just love how you worded that, as what you get to experience right now as a parent. And I don't know, does that find its way into the songs you're selecting and writing?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, again, it's where I'm at, because I don't ever like to sing a song that I've never really felt, because I've done that before. Like I've got songs in my first album and I'm like, this song is like, I hate singing the song, because I just like had nothing, like I've no like experience behind it or passion behind it. And it's like, I was like, I will never do that again. And I haven't since then, because it's, yeah. So I'm just like, as long as I keep it authentic and where I'm at in my life and how I can relate it, then I'm like, I'll sing it all day long.
Yeah. So as you're saying, like, we're going to get more songs, and are these leading to an album? EP? Just more singles? Do you know the plan?
You know what? We're kind of figuring that out right now. Cause I'm like, oh, I've got this song and I've got this song idea. Like I want to write this. So I think we're collecting, and I'm definitely thinking it's going to be like some sort of an EP situation.
Yeah. I mean, 6 years since the last album. So I think as fans, we're going, give us more.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Like for an independent artist, it's a little bit harder because we don't have label support. So
right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm figuring it out, but hopefully that would be amazing.
Yeah. And you're an independent artist right now. I mean, that isn't easy, but it's also huge. Is there a sense, is there a sense of more control that you're able to get with that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I can do whatever I want. And the crazy thing is like some of the songs are leading a little poppy, some are a little like Avril Lavigne, some are country. And I'm just like, and you know what? I could put it all on one album and be like, here you go. I can do whatever the heck I want to do. And like, that's so great. And I can own it and it's mine and no one can tell me whatever. Like, it's like, if I like it, I can put it on there. Now I listen, I have like an amazing team. I've got, my best friend, like she helps me with all of it. And it's like, if she tells me it sucks, like, obviously I'm not going to be like, well, screw you. I'm still putting it on this album. But, so I still listen to what people say, but at the end of the day, I can make my own decision, which is awesome.
Yeah. What I've noticed about these two singles, again, last year's Untouchables and this year's Voices, it sounds bigger. And I can't even pinpoint what it is, but something about the whole sound sounds bigger than anything you've done in the past. I mean, what are you doing musically with these?
I have a really awesome, he's cool. He actually just did the Katy Perry song, her last single. And I was just like, let's have fun with it. Let's not put anything like, we don't need to be country. We don't need to be this. I was like, let's just bring it to life and let like the songs kind of come to life. And that's what we're doing. So, and I'm going in there and singing my freaking heart out.
Are you looking to anyone else musically right now? Does that play a part in it?
Like yes and no. I mean, like, of course, like I love like what Halsey does. But then like, I'm all over the map. Like I go like, if we were in my kitchen cooking right now, which I probably wouldn't cook, but like, I'll do something in there, but like maybe pour some wine. It would go from like Halsey to Patsy Cline to like James Taylor. So like, that's why I'm like, I've never really been able to put like me in a box, like musically. Cause I just go, and then Eminem probably right after that. So I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, Halsey working with Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails, Trent and Atticus on that last record. I mean, if you could pull off, I mean, I say pull off, I think you could do anything you want to do, as you were saying, but something like that, would be really interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. And hey, like, who knows? I always just want to evolve and have fun and write from the heart.
Yeah. You did team up with Richard Marx on his album last year.
Him so much. Like, I just like, oh, I love him because my dad, I mean, he was obviously huge in the 80s. So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, Richard Marx wants me to like do a song with him. And so, yeah, that was really cool. And he was the greatest guy ever. I adore him and actually have worked with his son since then too. Like he's really cool as well.
Yeah. Do you take the opportunity to, I don't know, take something from, I mean, he's one of the greatest songwriters ever. There is an art, to what he does.
He just said he's like, tell the truth in your story. And I'm like, and that's what I've done. So, and that's something that I just appreciate him because he is so vulnerable too in his life and his stories.
Yeah. I do want to quickly hit on the other side. You've got a couple other things going on outside of the music. Of course, the movie career with the Lifetime movies. The Holiday Fix-Up, is that the new one?
Yes, the Holiday Fix-Up. It's going to be coming out in December. I'm so pumped about it. I was able to produce this one, help create it. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. My co-star Ryan McPartlin was fantastic. And so working on that, and then my podcast Wind Down, which I talk about life, love, everything that's going on in my world. And then I have a wine called One Brick, so red, white, blends, like all the above. So I'm a big wine girl, and it's been fun to kind of see that dream come to fruition too.
Yeah, it's amazing. I like all of these things that you're doing. And I was reading about the wine thing and, of course, listening to the last few episodes of the Wind Down podcast. And it sounds like you all have a lot to mean, what you're going for there.
I kind of just like, I take a handful of darts and I throw it against the wall. And I'm like, all right, what's going to stick? So, but I mean, I love creating. I love dreaming up things. I love kind of having my hands in a bunch of different projects. And, at the end of the day, I'm a mom and I have to support my kids. So I'll do anything and everything for them.
Yeah. looking at just the Lifetime sort of things, the Lifetime movies, you know, that side specifically, you know, they're known for, I mean, it's become such a cultural thing, by the way. These, I'm not saying anything new for the last few years, especially the holiday movies that have been coming out here, but they end with usually the happy ending. And I'm trying to draw the parallel to what you do musically too. Do they find the same sort of spots? The person you are in your songs, will they arrive in the same way that a character you play in one of these movies might?
That's the goal. I hope so. I really do. I really hope so. I mean, at the end of the day, I have a lot of love to give, and I hope one day I'll be able to be cherished the way that I would love to cherish somebody else.
Yeah. Well, it's always so much fun watching what you do with all of the things. Congratulations on all your success. I know that's been going for a very long time.
Sweet.
Yeah. And
I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. And congrats on this new music. I can't wait to hear the rest of it when it comes out.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Jana. Bye.
Bye.